Oh, man. So, did you hear? I don't know if we ever talked about this in the podcast or not. Tokyo created that massive 60-foot robot that can walk and move its arms.
No.
Do you hear about this thing?
No.
Okay. Well, it was, well, I'm not going to say big news as much as it was news at one point when they first sort of were doing like the testing for it, and somebody released a video of it. And, well, it's official. It's been unveiled on Monday, today. And they're hoping that this is going to boost their tourism by having this 60-foot robot.
I think all your COVID and nuclear waste scattered everywhere is probably going to counter that a little bit. Maybe stop Fukushima from leaking and get rid of all your COVID, and then more people will come there. I'm just spitballing here, but
well, the robot is modeled after a figure it's called Mobile Suit Gundam. It's a Japanese cartoon first launched in the 70s. Yeah. But it's about these giant robots that would battle piloted by humans. So it's basically like that movie
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah, that too.
Hey, so it's basically sort of taken from that.
Hey, my Japanese friends. Not that we've ever been in Japan. We've never had a listener there, but I'm going to pretend we do. Hi, fellas. Do you think maybe your energy could be spent on better things right now than the 60-foot robots? Unless there's 60-foot robots that are intended to clean up all the nuclear waste you're dumping into the ocean. I just think maybe we should get our priorities a little more in line with reality.
Well, keep that in mind when you hear this. This is the Chief Cabinet Secretary. This is what he told a news conference. He says, I hope this will lead to a stimulating tourism demand and revitalizing local areas. Of course, we now have the coronavirus issue, and I want people to tackle endeavors like this while making an effort to prevent the spread of infection.
Yes, indeed you do. That's good. That's a good message. Your country's kind of fucked. Like, it's $60 to eat at McDonald's. Like, you gotta change your whole everything about you. And then more tourists will want to come there. Like, stop being freaky. Stop letting the mafia run your country. Stop stealing little blonde girls' passports so they can't leave the country. They hate that.
Yeah, they get really frustrated by that.
And clean up all your nuclear waste. Like, just fucking stick a cork in that shit. Stick it. You know what you should do is stick a 60-foot robot in it. I bet it'll stop leaking then.
I doubt it.
Then you get some tourists. Like, I want to go there.
It'll fun.
I totally want to go there.
It'll fuck up somehow.
Only if it has feelings. That's where everybody goes wrong these days. It's their damn feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Eliminate the feelings, you eliminate the problems. Just saying. Oh, man. So that's interesting.
Now is better. Now is better than a 60-foot robot.
Oh, sure.
Now the little robot.
The little guy, yeah. Well, he's also probably way cheaper and can do more.
Yeah, he's $6,000 and he can do the Gangnam Style dance.
And get saucy with you if you bug him while he's reading.
That's fucking brilliant. I would love to come home and find out my little robot destroyed my apartment.
Just how bitter because you didn't leave him a snack.
But he
can't eat anyway.
He'll come to work with me every day. He's going to be my little assistant. It's going to be awesome. And he can take care of the goat when I'm not around.
Oh, there you go. Watch the goat reject you and only be with him.
It probably will happen. He's happening this year, too, God damn it. I'm really frustrated that I didn't get the goat last year. Or this year, I guess.
Goat. Oh, my goat.
Daryl. He's a cutie. Oh, it's going to be a different one now. All right. What else happened? I had a thing. I don't know where I put it.
Well, let me know when you find it.
What do you got? You got any other things?
I have some what happened this day in history.
Hey, let's do that, because it's the end of the month, and they're always good at the end of the months.
I have to admit, there's a couple of good ones here. On this day in 1874, Winston Churchill was born.
Ooh, I know one, too. Oh, I know a good one.
What's that?
Tupac was killed today.
Oh.
Shot 5 times.
Oh, shit. Well done.
That was one that I know. I knew that one.
That's very sad, because he was an amazing rapper.
So was Winston Churchill.
Yes, he was.
Not a lot of people know that about him. Quite the rapper.
He was the earliest form of rapper. That was him. Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill. For those who want to know his full name. There you go. In 1974, Elton John's Greatest Hits reached number 1 on the Billboard charts.
That's cool.
For a 10-week run. And ended up selling more than 24 million copies worldwide. Not bad for a Greatest Hits record.
I didn't appreciate him when I was young. I didn't realize what a talent he was. Now I do.
Oh, very, very amazing guy. I fully say that.
And Slash's mom was his costume designer.
Yeah, that's kind of fucking cool. This one is cool because we've actually spoken about this specifically. The first modern incident of a meteorite striking a human being occurred today in 1954.
Oh.
In Alabama, when a meteorite crashed through the roof of a house into a living room, bounced off a radio, and hit a woman in the hip. She was sleeping on the couch.
Well, and
she got hit by this.
Quite the only story.
Human being. Hey, the only human being on the planet that's ever been reported to have been hit by a meteorite. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the only one to be reported. I mean, how many of them have just been fucking vaporized by them and we don't know them?
Or who got hit by it? Just like, Tommy, did you throw that rock?
Never got to
Tommy got blamed for it. Oh, man. Ralph Nader's Unsafe at Any Speed hit the bookstores on this day in 1965. You know Ralph Nader?
I was a big fan of Ralph Nader.
I didn't know still don't know anything about him. So
he was Nader was just kind of a shit disturber in America. I think he ran for president twice.
I believe you're right.
Interesting guy though, kind of a libertarian type dude.
Mark Twain was born on this day in 1835.
I feel very much like you're the modern Mark Twain.
Really? I don't know what that means because I don't know much about him.
Oh, Mark Twain was the best. Everyone should have to learn about Mark Twain. Forget the shit you study in high school. Once you get out of high school, go read Mark Twain. And read about him. He was a fascinating guy. He had a lot of.
I know that he was born.
He was born today?
No, he was born on this day in 1835.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
He would have been one of
his actual birth.
Sorry, go ahead.
His actual birth name is Samuel Clemens.
Samuel Clemens, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he was born in Florida, Missouri.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's very weird. Now, this next one is awesome because I actually remember watching this when it was happening. On November 30th in 2004, after winning 74 straight games of more than $2.5 million for a record for a game show.
Ken Jennings. I forgot about that.
he finally lost his first game, breaking his winning streak.
Yeah. I forgot.
So that happened in 2004.
Something else happened in 2004.
I don't know what that is.
Neither
While
do
you're
I.
thinking about that one, what's her name? This female serial killer, Aileen Wuornos, who was portrayed by what's her name in the movie Monster? Charlize Theron in the movie Monster. She started her
Podcast?
killing spree in Florida. Oh, she started her killing spree in Florida.
Everything good starts in Florida.
That's right. Just keeps on proving it.
I really need to get to Florida this year. If I could go anywhere in the world right now, it would be Florida.
I just wonder if you just walk around, are you just going to see the most craziest of random shit on any given day?
Probably not. It seems like the kind of place that kind of hides their stuff until you find out there's shit in the water. Then they're like, oh, you know about the shit. We'll tell you all our secrets.
It's just funny. Also on this day in 1939, the USSR attacked Finland.
Huh.
Yeah.
How'd that go
arrived
for them?
they arrived with 465,000 men, 1,000 aircraft. Helsinki was bombed, and 61 Finns were killed in an air raid. So you have 465,000 people and 1,000 aircraft, and you're able to kill 61.
Neat.
I don't think that's very good in terms of war.
Well, it's the USSR.
Yeah.
That's why they made it so far in the world. Before Rocky single-handedly took them down.
Yeah, that's all it took. Fucking Rocky is the best. So yeah, that's the only interesting thing. You know, the United States and Russia opened talks to reduce the intermediate range nuclear forces in 1981 on this day.
Uh-huh.
It lasted for a whole 18 days and then ended inconclusively. It's pointless. Nothing happened. So that was dumb. And the thing I never understand when I'm looking this thing up, why is it that the first thing comes up always has to do with the fucking opera? What is with this person's fascination with the fucking opera? And why would anybody care about the opera being more important as the thing of history than the meteorite, than whatever, anything? I mean, the Jeopardy thing is way more interesting than fucking
to you
opera place.
Some people.
Who else would care?
Millions of people. People love opera.
No, they really don't. They don't actually.
They do.
They really don't. They like it because they think it makes them look more impressively smart.
Sure.
That's
a lot of people
hoax.
very much like the opera. It was also the way of communicating news stories and stuff in its time. Like they told a lot. Like they would travel around and tell a lot of stories with opera. I don't particularly like it. I never really understood most of them. Carmen was kind of cool. It's the only one I ever saw live. It was very long.
I've only ever seen one. I saw the Nutcracker opera, and I hated my entire existence during it.
Isn't that more of a ballet?
Yep, it was done as an opera, and I hated it. I hated it. Hearing this stupid bitch scream her fucking head off and these weird... I just didn't like it.
That's exactly how I feel about Adele.
At least you can understand what she says. I didn't. It was all sung in Italian, so I didn't understand any of it. It was dumb.
I wish I couldn't. I wanted to bring these up because it's something that is one of my favorite things in the world. Here's some really great Mark Twain quotes. He was just the best. He's the one who came up with the quote,